Hola amigos, ¿qué tal? Stuart here from Spain Speaks. With the Spain News Update, we'll take a look at some of the main stories that have caught my attention in the press here in Spain. And we'll also take a look at some comments that have been left on the channel in recent times by viewers. Before I begin, a huge thanks to all of the people that have supported the channel in recent times, whether it's by buying me a coffee, whether it's through the Super Thanks option on YouTube, whether it's the longer term supporters on Patreon, channel members of this YouTube channel. Thank you very much for that support. I appreciate it. Now, straight into the news and the ugly topic of racism in Spain making headlines again today. Real Madrid star Vinicius Jr., who's been the victim of racist abuse while playing football in this country, has given an interview. And on the topic of racism in Spain, he has said that if it doesn't evolve, the World Cup needs to change its location. Vinicius Jr. stated in an interview with CNN that the 2030 World Cup should change its location if Spain does not make progress in the fight against racism. We have a long period for evolution until 2030. I hope Spain can evolve and understand how serious it is to insult a person because of the color of their skin, he said. If things don't evolve by 2030, I think the World Cup needs to change its location because players don't feel comfortable and safe playing in a country where they may suffer from racism. It's complicated, but I believe and want to do everything I can to help things change because there are many people in Spain, or even the majority, who are not racist, but a small group ends up affecting the image of a country that is such a great place to live. I love being here and I love playing for Real Madrid, he added. So Vinicius Jr. again calling out racism here in Spain, but making it clear there that it is a minority, not the majority, and he loves living and playing football in Spain. So let's see if Spain can nip racism in the bud, especially when it comes to football and football stadium crowds. Second piece of news now, and Spain's migration crisis again making headlines. And as we can read here, police managed to control a riot at Barajas Airport in Madrid after asylum denial to a group of migrants. Adolfo Suarez Madrid Barajas Airport was the scene of an incident yesterday involving a group of migrants attempting to enter Spain irregularly. The altercation occurred when, upon learning that their asylum requests had been denied, a group of approximately 75 migrants, mostly from Maghreb and Mauritanian origin, reacted violently in Hall 3 of Terminal 1. The incident took place at around 7 p.m. and was quickly brought under control by the National Police, who had dispatched reinforcements to the scene in response to the situation. According to several police unions, including the Spanish Confederation of Police, the migrants, upon receiving the unfavorable decision regarding their international protection requests, began to display aggressive behavior, prompting authorities to request additional support. So there we go, a riot breaking out the other day at Spain's biggest airport, Madrid Barajas, because a group of asylum seekers from African countries had their requests for asylum denied by the Spanish government. And most likely this group was sent back to their countries of origin, hence their anger. And the third and final piece of news now, and anybody who was in Spain during the month of August this year would have realized that it was a fairly hot month. In fact, it was the hottest August ever. The State Meteorological Agency, the AEMET, has reported that August 2024, with an average temperature of 25 degrees Celsius, has been the hottest ever recorded in mainland Spain. This month has been the hottest in the country's historical record, AEMET announced Monday night via the social network X. With an average temperature of 25 degrees, it was 2 degrees above the 1991 to 2020 average and surpassed by 0.2 of a degree the Augusts of 2003 and 2023, which were previously the hottest Augusts on record, the agency continued. Based on data from the first 8 months of the year, 2024 is already shaping up to be the hottest year in the historical series, tied with 2022. AEMET estimated that the 4 hottest years on record could end up being the last 4. Both 2022 and 2024 have had an average temperature of 15.8 degrees, close behind our 2023 and 2020 with 15.7 degrees. So there we go, the hottest August ever in Spain in 2024, at least as long as records have been kept, of course, according to the State Meteorological Agency, the AEMET, with the average temperature sitting at 25 degrees for the month. Wow! Now let's have a look at some comments that have been left on the channel recently. One here from Wiz: the rural towns have no work or prospects, full stop. Filling them with more people is not going to fix anything when their spelling mistake is no work for them. Can you guess what will happen? Question mark. Yeah, Wiz, thanks for the comment, and obviously in response to something that we saw in yesterday's live stream about how some towns in Spain, especially in the parts of Spain that are suffering depopulation, are happy to receive the migrants coming from Africa and want more to go to those places. But Wiz saying no point going there because there's no jobs and no prospects for these people. So what are these places supposed to do? Do they just give up and die, say that's it, no future here, or do they try to find a solution? One here from Dude Stewart. Do they arrest people in Spain for stating their online opinions as they do in the UK? Yeah, dude, thanks for the comment, but I don't think anybody gets arrested for sharing their opinion online. Another thing is that your opinion contains hate speech or could possibly incite violence. That's another issue. Like, for example, when a young boy was stabbed and killed here in Spain a couple of weeks ago in the province of Toledo, and lots of people went online sharing their opinions about how the perpetrator of that crime was from a certain ethnicity and they couldn't have been further from the truth. And what's the purpose of going online and spreading those lies? What's the end game here? Obviously, they're trying to stir up hate towards a certain community. You reckon that's okay? One here from Janook. Spain should focus on bringing Spanish descendants back to Spain as there are thousands out there instead of spending money on migrants from other countries who have zero ties to Spain. Yeah, Janook, thanks for the comment, and you were echoing the words spoken yesterday by the president of the Madrid community, Isabel Díaz Ayuso. As we can see here, Ms. Ayuso said yesterday, one type of immigration is not the same as another. The regional president advocates integration and miscegenation, but suggests that achieving this is easier with Latin American migrants than with Africans. And as can be expected, her words were slammed by certain sectors of the Spanish population. One here from Yorkshire Compost Corner. Hi Stuart, I was in Los Canajos on the Canary Island of La Palma in January and stayed in an Airbnb. I thought it was a tourist block I'd booked into, but discovered the vast majority were lived in by locals who were friendly and helpful to us. I can understand the shortage of affordable accommodation if people are getting a second home and letting it out to tourists to pay their mortgage for them. Yeah, Yorkshire, thanks for the comment, and good to see that you had a pleasant experience with some of the locals that you shared your apartment block with down there in the Canary Islands. As we've seen in recent times, this is not always the case. Sometimes locals in that type of building can get a little bit irate with all of the different people passing through, so I reckon you got lucky. And when it comes to having a second home in a tourist location, there are basically three choices for the owner of that property. They can leave it empty, they can rent it out long term, or they can rent it out on the short-term rental market, which is a recent phenomenon. But for whatever reason, a lot of people are choosing the last option that I mentioned there, and this seems to be causing a rental shortage. So it's up to governments to offer incentives to people to put their properties on the long-term rental market and take them off the short-term one. One here from Helen. I'm on the Costa del Sol and live about 20 minutes walk from the beach. Owners up here do rent out and it's fine. Maybe tourists need to research what they really want of a holiday. Spain is a lovely place, but there are different styles. Yeah, Helen, thanks for the comment, and you're absolutely right. Lots of different styles when it comes to tourism in this country. And all of this anti-tourism sentiment that we've seen in some places in recent times is just a small drop in the ocean. The majority of people that visit this country, the millions of people that visit this country, and as we know, Spain again breaking records this year as far as tourism is concerned, don't experience any negativity at all. They enjoy their holidays and they go back to their country of origin with pleasant memories. And I speak from experience because I travel to many different parts of Spain throughout the year and I never have an issue. And the last comment here from Battle Morph. Down here in Chiclana, the locals drop the ends of their words a lot and speak the fastest in Spain. Yeah, Battle Morph, thanks for the comment, and you could be right that the locals in the town of Chiclana in the south of Spain in the province of Cádiz are the fastest speakers of Spanish in Spain. And I think that could be said about Cádiz in general, not just Chiclana. And of course, when you're not used to that way of speaking, it can be difficult to understand people. But I think it's just a matter of getting used to how the locals speak, and the more time you spend in a place, the easier that becomes. And of course, if you're living in a place like Cádiz, you might want to adapt the way that you speak Spanish to the way the locals speak. On that note, I'm going to wrap the video up. Questions and comments, please leave them in the section below. If you have anything to add to the conversation today, the comment section is the place for you. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. I'll see you in the next one. Hasta luego.